I'm originally from New York.
Here's the thing about me. I am real. I am from New York. Watch how you talk to me. Watch how you talk. I'm from New York.
Hello, friends, and welcome back to ReddX. Are you ready for some petty revenge today? Because I definitely am. It's one of my favorite subreddits ever, and we don't get to visit it very often, but today is the day, and hopefully it can restore some of my sanity. Don't you go hollow on me. That's what they say. So let's head over there, check it out. Thanks so much for being here today, and I hope that you will enjoy. My family is making a homophobic cake decorator make hundreds of pride cakes. That's right, your moral viewpoint can't save you from being poor, can it? We all make compromises, don't feel too bad. So yes, this one grocery store in my town offers custom cakes out of their bakery section. It's not a Walmart. Okay. Their only cake decorator is a nasty bitch of a woman with even nastier opinions about gay people, and she is a real piece of work. Let me tell you. Okay, I'll believe you, I suppose. But probably it's because her job is tough. You know, she goes home at the end of the day and she's just like, I feel empty. I don't... I need to find some way to express my hatred at people that don't deserve it. So one of my siblings, who is LGBT+, works in the store as well, and they've been fed up with this lady for a while. Well, a couple days ago, this sibling told my family that for their upcoming birthday, they wanted to custom order them a pride-themed cake from the store so that this homophobic woman would have to make a cake that stands for everything that she so openly hates. It is, like, sort of dastardly. I guess. How bad is the woman? Like, we haven't seen any example of that. You're just supposed to hate her because she has opinions on things, I guess. So my family is going to do this, but we're going to do so much more than that, too. One of my other siblings already ordered a pride cake, so we could all have cake just because. My mother ordered a pride cake to give to our favorite and openly gay barista at a coffee shop we like. My wife ordered a pride cake just because she loves me and knows I love cake. You see where this is going. I mean, yeah, so everybody go ahead and have a pride cake. It's fine. The bakery's probably really happy. They're like, we've got so much business. I don't know what's going on. We're never going to fire that wretched shrew of a lady now. Job security. OP says, I have a lot of siblings, and my siblings have families and friends, and I have family and friends, and our family and friends have their own share of family and friends, and so on. Yeah, that's kind of how it works. And because we're not pieces of trash, and because in my family we all share a powerful strand of petty DNA, we are all ordering pride cakes. This homophobic cake decorator will be making hundreds of pride cakes this month. Honestly, it is sort of funny. Just doing a number on her sanity. I don't understand why.
Because I'm a stud. I'm ballsy.
Like, I'd like to hear some stories about the cousin and something hateful she said, and then I'll be like, oh, okay. But if she's just got an opinion, I guess she makes her opinion known. People have decided that, yeah, this is the line, I suppose. And the icing on the pride cake is that the cake decorator's manager saw the first cake, the first one my sibling ordered, and loved the concept. The manager figures they could sell extra cakes this month if they advertise that they can theme them for Pride Month. She's definitely right. So she told the decorator to make one more gay cake for the display case. Now all the LGBT in town will see it, and this homophobic waste of space will have to make even more pride cakes. Sometimes life is beautiful. It brings me genuine joy to think of this woman spending her months making more cake than this town orders in a typical year, and all of them themed for pride. Yeah, I mean, I guess it is petty revenge. Like I said, there's nothing really to dislike about the woman except an opinion that she holds. And that's not enough for me to be like, I'm going to chip away at your sanity, and all my family and friends are going to as well. But then again, maybe I haven't seen the depths, you know? Maybe it could be really, really horrible, and I shouldn't go to bat for her. Overall, a funny piece of petty revenge, although, yeah, I'm sort of lost a little bit on why all of this is happening. Just because she holds an opinion. That's a way you could go, but I don't know if I like it none too much. Whatever. We'll get into the next story and see how that one goes, so join me over there, won't ya? This OP says he cheated, blamed me, and said we needed to spice up our intimate life. Chili in his underwear should fix that. Is that a little more than petty revenge? Maybe not. I guess it depends how much chili it was. Like ghost peppers, habaneros, jalapenos? What are we working with here? I was in a monogamous 2-year relationship. We were living together, and there were seemingly no issues. There were times when he would need to leave the house to see friends or go to jiu-jitsu. Now looking in hindsight, the jiu-jitsu excuse was quite ironic, and I would never question it because I trusted him. One day, I received a message from a random girl reaching out to me and asking if a certain guy was my boyfriend. And what do I see but screenshots of my boyfriend having explicit texts with her? Yeah, I think the gloves do come off on that one. Why not put chili in the underpants?
Why are you taking your pants off? What are you doing?
It turns out this girl also thought that she was having a monogamous relationship with my boyfriend for the past 3 months. I confronted him about it the same day, and his reaction was mind-boggling. He started to explain his actions like he was the victim, and he had the audacity to hint that the problem was me, and that our sex life was lacking something. I was gobsmacked. We were still being intimate almost every day, and I basically did whatever he wanted in the bedroom, but I guess that wasn't enough for him. Yeah, get out there and start catting on the town, you know? He's hoping for like a polycule situation. He's like, the only thing that can satisfy me is disappointing 2 women at the same time. Okay, we all live our life in different ways. That's good luck. OP says during his mental gymnastics, he let out a phrase, we need to spice things up in our relationship. Oh, I see. You want some more spice, do you? Well, I got an idea. That same night while he was asleep, I took chili powder and rubbed it in all of his underwear with maximum love and care, making sure I rubbed it on both sides, the front and the back. Oh yeah, you gotta get that all over coverage for sure. The next morning, my plan was simple. Watch how he likes his new chili underwear and leave. I woke up before him and finished packing up my stuff. He woke up a little late and had to hurry to not be late for work. He got dressed and made himself a quick coffee with a sandwich. As the coffee was brewing, I started to hear unpleasant moans from the kitchen. Oh no, what happened there, huh? The moans turned into loud, "What the fucks?" as he awkwardly ran back to the bathroom with his jeans and underwear down to his knees. The confusion on his face was exquisite. I do like this a lot. You get what you fucking deserve, that's what they say. I smirked and left his place with a couple of suitcases without saying anything. I went back a couple more times during the day to take the rest of my stuff while he was at work. That evening, when I was already staying at my friend's place, I received a message from him. "Did you do something to my underwear?" To which I replied, "I spice things up." That is dastardly, and yeah, I guess it is petty revenge, you know? There was no permanent damage done. You want to cause psychological damage to your partner, then okay, maybe your pee-pee's gonna hurt for a little while, and maybe you deserve exactly that. Just wonderful. With that, we'll move into another story. This one titled, "The door on the garage goes up and down, the door on the garage goes up and down, all through the town, night." Yeah, I like that title. It's musical and therefore gets bonus points.
So a sarcasm detector. Well, that's a really useful invention.
OP says, back when my kids were in middle school, we had a really horrible neighbor whose complaints would take volumes to document. First on this list was how the neighborhood kids made noise while playing football in the muddy, vacant lot across from his house, which I suppose was annoying, but also kinda none of his effing business. Yeah, you don't own that lot. Want to keep the kids out of that lot? Go buy it! But you can't, 'cause you're broke. We mostly endured his daily tirades. But things came to a head when he started calling the cops on the kids and got them informally trespassed from the property. It was traumatic enough for them to lose their, admittedly not there, but still, only free play area, but getting yelled at by the cops just made it awful. Well, what kind of fucking cops are these? Like, aren't you supposed to serve and protect the neighborhood or something like that? We're gonna trespass a bunch of children. I guess, okay, you can't play in the vacant lot, whatever, but it's kind of a dick move to report it. Like, so what? They're just playing some football. Look out the window and go, God, I'm glad to see kids being kids. That's the correct way to handle this shit. What are you thinking? Anyway, not long after, one of the neighborhood kids found a garage door remote. I use the word found quite judiciously here. One of them figured out that it was for nasty neighbor's garage. I assume by riding his bike down the street while clicking the remote, or maybe he just knew somehow. Plausible deniability abounds. Yeah, I mean, probably he did find it. He just found it inside of that guy's house. Which, I guess if everybody's going towards the morally gray area, then all's fair in love and war, or something like that.
If fighting is sure to result in victory, then you must fight. Sun Tzu said that.
Somehow my oldest kid ended up being the keeper of the remote. Bad news for the neighbor. My kid should be the poster child for this subreddit. For the next few weeks, he'd open the neighbor's garage at around 2 a.m. every night. That alone would qualify as petty revenge, but what I haven't mentioned yet is that our neighbor had a raccoon problem, and the neighbor kept his garbage in the garage. Not long after the nightly garage door opening, one of the more intelligent raccoons figured out that they'd been given tickets to a veritable smorgasbord. Yes, and they deserve it more than most of us, okay? Raccoons is good people. So for a while, we would get daily updates about how much and what type of trash the kids on the school bus saw strewn all across the neighbor's driveway, complete with nasty neighbor shaking his fist at the children on the bus as they rolled past. What the fuck? You don't know which one it was, so it's just like, I blame all children. I don't know. I guess it makes sense. Plenty of people out here blaming all women, blaming all men, blaming all children shouldn't be that far of a stone's throw. Nasty neighbor tried to sick the cops on us, but I refused to let them speak to my kid. Not that he would have admitted anything, but that kid's a stone-cold criminal who can never be broken under pressure. Eventually, nasty neighbor either got a new garage door opener or reprogrammed the remotes on the ones that he had, and our remote stopped working. And the fun was over. I'm sure the raccoons were just as disappointed as we were. And yes, I did encourage my kids' misbehavior, because fuck nasty neighbors who won't just let kids be kids. TLDR, nasty neighbor called the cops on my kids for playing in a vacant lot across from his house. One of them found the garage door remote, and the garage door was opened every night for raccoons to plunder his garbage cans. I mean, it's not the worst thing that you could have done, you know? Could have egged your house every night, TP on the lawn, but the garage door opener thing is just economical. That's what I like the most about it. You don't have to think about it. Just set it and forget it. 2 a.m., I hit the button, revenge implemented. It's beautiful and efficient. 2 thumbs up. All right, next story. Oh, here's a tasty one. Owner fired my dad, then came back asking for work. Denied! That is some delicious revenge. Back in 1997, my stepdad was the operations manager at a company that did telecommunications work. He hired me to work at the company for the summer, and I ended up enjoying the work and made a career out of it. About 4 months into my employment at this company, the owner and my stepdad had a disagreement over something very trivial, and the owner fired my dad. Since he's my stepdad, we had different last names, and I didn't feel like I'd get caught up in this issue. I had my own issues with this company as well, mostly due to not being paid correctly and being denied my promised benefits. Sounds illegal to me.
Yes, I'm gonna sue! Yeah, I might even sue you!
I ended up working for another 18 months for the company before I left to work for a major telecommunications provider that we had done some work for. Well, that's awesome. They poached you. At the new company, I eventually took a position where I was responsible for hiring contractors, much like the company my dad and I worked for, to do construction. One day I got a call out of the blue from the owner of the contractor company. He wanted to see if he could get on my list of approved contractors and was hoping that we could discuss it over a lunch. Typically a project of this type would be a $75,000 to $200,000 project, and I would do 20 to 30 projects per year, so it could be a lucrative source of revenue for them. I agreed to a lunch date with the owner at a fancy restaurant I always wanted to try. His pitch consisted of telling me what his company was capable of and how he valued his employees and took care of them. He mentioned the lists of other companies that he's done work for and the quality of the work. And I mentioned that I used to work for his company, and he clearly didn't remember my name. I also asked if he remembered the guy who hired me, and he said that he did. When I mentioned that that guy was my stepdad, the look of panic in his eyes set in. He clearly remembered my stepdad. I closed out the lunch meeting with a thank you for the food and an apology that my contractor list was currently more than full of capable contractors, but I would definitely keep him in mind if something were ever to change. And I never heard back from him again. Well, at least he fucking took the L, you know? Turned tail and ran. And you got a nice free lunch out of it. That's the best thing of all. I want to reject you over, you know, a plate of oysters kill Patrick, not a fucking Subway sandwich. I'm glad he rolled the boat out just to get denied. And I guess, yeah, it sucks that your dad lost his job and all that stuff, but probably he made it through, you know? Minor setback. But yeah, for a stupid reason. A trivial reason, which we weren't told what it was, but I'm just gonna side with OP for my own sanity. And we'll move into the next post. This OP says, I caught the office food thief accidentally. I mean, it's more cathartic when it's on purpose, but we take these. I am relatively new at my job, says OP, and it is not the most organized place. There's a full kitchen / break room with a full fridge / freezer and even an oven. There are no rules about the food in the fridge, i.e. some is there to share and some is private. I just stick to what I brought and keep it in a small lunch bag to keep it from being confused with something shareable. I mean, somebody's gonna make that mistake accidentally on purpose. Another thing, this is rural North Carolina, and I'm originally from New York. I've been there a while, but there's still some cultural differences that matter.
I miss walking. Do you know what I mean? I'm so sick of driving, because here's the thing about in New York, we're always walking, and that's where I'm from New York.
So apparently there's been a rash of food thefts. No one spoke about them, at least not with me, and it seems that everyone was prepared to just sit and suffer in silence. So yesterday I brought my lunch in, and it was leftover chori boil, and it was spicy. I enjoy it spicy, and it was a bit much even for me. I've learned that in this area, people like things much sweeter and much less spicy than I am used to. Is that a New York thing? I usually think of like West Coast, Southeast when we talk about spicy stuff, but that's, of course, what I've been programmed to believe it from my experience. Anyway, I entered the break room for my lunch, and a bunch of people were standing around, and one of the guys, Brent, was getting his blood pressure taken by the HR lady. Brent, you shouldn't have done what you did, you asshole! I was concerned and came over, and he immediately started yelling at me and telling me that I tried to poison him! I was so confused, but after a whole back and forth, I realized that Brent had stolen and attempted to eat my lunch, and was claiming that I put an inedible amount of spices onto it. I had to explain that I like spicy food. I didn't expect him to take my lunch, and now that I'm looking back at it, I'm shocked that he knew it was mine. Like, it's in a small floral lunch bag, and I didn't put my name on it. I got bad news for you, OP. Brent's been watching you like a hawk. He's got an Excel spreadsheet with your name all over it. Anyway, that's how everyone now knows that Brent is 1, a food thief, and 2, can't handle his spice. This is especially amusing to people because Brent is an older man, over 6 feet, and prides himself on being macho. And I'm a 5'0" woman, and basically the least intimidating person ever. TLDR, I brought in extra spicy food that made a food thief think that he was having heart palpitations. Oh, Brent. I guess those are the things you worry about when you're an older man, isn't it? Oh no, is this spicy burrito gonna give me a heart attack? If that's the case, then maybe nature has decided that your time is up, Brent. Maybe you're not long for this world and we should just accept that fact. Maybe even a bit of accelerationism. You know, you go to Canada and they'll put you in one of them pods. He'd deserve it. He would deserve it. Fucking food thieves, man. I hate liars and thieves more than anything. Anyway, we'll get into another post. We still got some time. Let's keep it rolling. This OP says, I've been your donkey for months, and now you're going to drag that stuff. Oh, come on. This is what donkeys is good for. But everybody could be a donkey at one point or another. So yeah, put your fucking work in. OP says, when you come from the south of Europe and you have a good degree, usually you're still pretty much screwed, economically speaking. Oh yeah, the copywriting job that I had would have paid thousands back in the States. I didn't get that because I live in the Philippines. I'm the budget option. OP says, for this reason, I made the move to a northern country, sacrificing job offers, relationships, even being with my ill mother, just for a paid internship, which was supposed to be an entry position. Yeah, they just say that. And then they pick their favorite interns, you know, the ones that licked enough boots to stick around. OP says, well, the only thing I think I learned is that there are crappy people all over. Facts. The company itself is okay. People in the office are cool. The job's nice, but my direct manager is an old misanthropic Dutch hag that everyone hates, but is encrusted in her position for over 20 years. She also has an assistant, this 40-year-old Ukrainian who comes from a really rich family that managed to pass as a refugee, and he gets money and housing from the state. Oh, yeah, so nice. Misappropriation of government funds. You love to see it. His countrymen being thrown into a van, but he's like, I gotta get the fuck out of here. I'm going to Deutschland. Anyway, I try my best. Being correct, work my ass off, always trying to improve, just to be constantly scolded and demeaned, to the point that I started to do whatever they want me to do without questioning it. Yes, malicious compliance. I miss that subreddit too. Even that wasn't enough, said OP. More the time passes, the more they just mob me with shitty activities and isolation, something which I gladly admitted in a meeting, making the upper levels of the company pretty upset. I mean, you don't want me to be honest about the thing. Maybe we shouldn't have had the meeting. I thought the meeting was a safe space where I could be open about my feelings. Long story short, they're probably letting me go. Internship. No protection. I'm saying, dude, it was probably not a great idea. Like I said, they're looking for bootlickers. But at least I did get some satisfaction seeing that old hag dragging under the sun a big pile of cardboard, not counting on me anymore to do the heavy jobs, something that now is waiting for them all summer long. P.S. I deactivated all the electronic tools, and it'll take them a while to back it up. Enjoy some physical labor, bitches! Edit, I got rumors that the big bosses are really, really pissed with them because it's the second time that this has happened just this year, so have fun! Yeah, I guess. I mean, it sucks that you had to come all that way just to be severely disappointed. But I don't know, sometimes life is like that, you know? There are certain situations you just can't win in, no matter how hard you try. But, you know, you did your best. You moved yourself across well, not the world, but to another country where you didn't know nobody, and that's pretty brave. That's admirable, OP. So even if it didn't work out, you did the right thing for yourself and your future and your development. So, good job. Keep taking them leaps. I believe in you, son. Anyway, let's get into another post. This one's moderately long, but simply titled, Made Him Wait All Day. Yeah, sometimes it's like that, you know? Delayed gratification can be good. So my company lets you choose between two options when you get employed here. Either you take the option to have all of your public transport reimbursed, or you get a parking spot in the underground building. Bro, give me the money. That's what I'm saying. Show me the money! Last week, one of my coworkers asked me if he could take my spot for this morning. Told him that I'd be back in the office at 10 a.m. and I needed my spot at that time for the day because I was having a few meetings. He told me not to worry. Cue today at 10 a.m. Nobody in sight. He doesn't answer my calls, so I wait until 10:20. Still nobody, so I park as close as I can behind him and leave it there. Already late for my meeting. Yeah, and then of course he's gonna show up and be all indignant about it. It's about the most ridiculous shit in the world. OP says he started to call me at 3 p.m. because he wanted to leave. 5 hours after I told him that I needed my space back. So I told him, I'm in a meeting right now and can't move. And he started to spam me at 3:30 to get my car out of the way. I was taking a coffee break with another coworker, and I let him know that I was still in a meeting. Yeah, the meetings might be a little while. You might want to take a Uber or, I don't know, sit in the car, turn the air conditioning on, make yourself comfortable. You probably got to be hot after all that working that you did stealing my space, huh? At 5 p.m., 2 hours ago, after 12 missed calls from him, a coworker told me that he left the building and called a taxi. Yeah, there you go, stupid. I leave at 5:10 and let the management building know that someone has been in my spot since this morning. I'll see tomorrow how it goes. Take my time and I'll take yours. Yes, as much as you'll give me, thanks so much. Update today, 11 a.m. So this morning I came to work at 7 a.m. and was surprised to discover that coworker's car was still there. I parked again in front, but this time not as close as I did yesterday. Can he get his car out? Probably not. He's just trapped there forever in purgatory. I hope you like taking taxis, fucko. My first meeting started at 8 a.m. and still nothing. At 8:30, management building started to call me, but I'm in the middle of my meeting, so I can't answer. They called me 4 times in a row. Yeah, again, shit out of luck. What do you want from me? Maybe you just give him the key. No, don't do that. He's gonna take horrible revenge on you. Around 8:45, management building show up to my meeting room with my boss, so I have to end my call. Urgent matter. Turns out my car is blocking the big-ass SUV of a boss from another department who wants to leave the building. 3 people stuck in the parking lot, and it's not even 8 a.m. yet. I explain that coworker's car is still in my spot since yesterday, and I have nowhere else to park. Street parking's about 16 euros an hour, so no way I can park there, and it's hot as fuck right now in Europe. So boss calls coworker, and no answer. This is just turning into a bigger and bigger clusterfuck, isn't it? 16 euros an hour is also egregious. Oh my god, what? That's offensive to me. And around 9 a.m., the towing company shows up and takes coworker's car away. Thank God. And from there, things took a sharp turn. Management called me at 10 a.m. about an hour ago to ask how many times my coworker did that. I answered that it was the first time and asked what the problem was. Turns out that it's the 4th complaint for his license plate, and management building found out that coworker entered the underground parking lot nearly every day. We have to use a company badge to open the door. Oh, so they're like big brothering him and stuff, huh? We reimburse you and you're still parking your fucking car down here? They're not gonna like that. You're stealing money from the company, essentially. Which I understand, but yeah, the company definitely doesn't. So, I don't know what's going to happen to him next, other than going to retrieve his car from the towing company lot, but it seems like he is scamming the company for reimbursement of an annual public transport pass, about 1,000 euros, and what else? Well, still no sign of life from coworker, but boss and the management building are fuming. Lol. I will update if he ever shows up. I mean, he's going to show up for a little while, and then the big boss is going to take him out into the back, Take care of the problem. Sorry for the late update. Lots of work. Coworker called me at 1 p.m. asking me where his car was. I told him that it had been towed out of the building and that I could just explain what happened. He'd just need to come join the team in the lunch break room. He hung up on me and teleported into the lunchroom. I mean, we are on the 3rd floor from the ground floor, so 4th floor from parking, really. And he was still up there in like 20 fucking seconds. Yeah. I mean, having a vehicle, it's sort of an urgent thing. Where is that $1,000 investment of mine? Or not investment, but whatever. Thing I spent $1,000 on. Probably more than that. $1,000 is gonna get you a fucking piece of junk. Anyway, coworker opened the door and started screaming at me, telling me that he had emails of me giving my spot for that day. Boss came by, alerted by the screaming, and took the two of us into his office. He asked for his version of the story and my version once more, and he asked for the email proof that said that I had accepted for the day. Only I didn't have that. There was only the email informing him that I would need my spot back at 10 a.m. Boss asked where coworker even was this morning, and coworker said that he was in with the client. Well, boss called the client to confirm, and there was no confirmation from his end. Damn, dude. You really fucked this one up. Like, it started with just a simple parking spot thing. He just thinks he's smarter than everybody else. Why would you lie about the meeting that never happened? Do you know how easy we can call and verify it? What's wrong with you? Boss called HR in and asked me to leave his office. We didn't hear what was said, but they stayed in there for a good 45 minutes. HR lady made 2 back and forths from the printer room, and when we saw coworker leave red-faced, he didn't say a word. Boss told us nothing about what happened, so maybe that's the last update, since I'm going home now. I hope it is the last. I hope he got his fucking walking papers. He ain't supposed to be working here no more, okay? We're sick and tired of being sick and tired, ain't we? Some very good petty revenge stories today. I hope you enjoyed them, friends. Yes. Like, comment, sub, of course. Share the video around. Super important. Patreon, YouTube memberships if you'd like to support us month to month. 4th wall for the merch. Amazon affiliate links also down there if you want to buy anything on Amazon. You can click that. Shop on through. I get kicked back a few bucks. It's pretty neato. But I do want to remind you, no matter what you decide to do, friends, that you are loved, you are worthy. You definitely deserve it. And I will see you in the next one. So until then, bye-bye.